Hi, I'm Adam. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer in the marketing industry, and I would give Nimble 4 out of 5 stars. We switched to Nimble from Salesforce. Salesforce was great. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. The problem is, it was just way more than we needed. We have a relatively small sales team. We have a pretty straightforward sales process. Salesforce just overwhelmed us with features and functionality and integrations and all of these things that frankly, we were just never going to use and we didn't want to pay for. So picking a CRM was not an easy choice. We looked at literally dozens. There's everything out there from building your own in something like Airtable to really full-featured suites, more on the Salesforce and Zoho end of things. We ended up landing on Nimble for two main reasons. Number one is the cost, right? We don't need to pinch pennies necessarily, but coming in there for something like 20 bucks a month per user is fantastic. Number two is the simplicity. Nimble is a product that lets you build a pipeline and manage that pipeline, and that ultimately is what we need. There is no muss, no fuss. It does what it needs to do. It doesn't try and do too much. So onboarding Nimble was simple. They offered a free trial. We got in there. We were able to export our Salesforce data via the data utility and simply drop it in. You can tell a lot of people switch to Nimble from Salesforce. They actually had a pre-built process for that, which was really nice. The integration was slightly more challenging. This is one of the few places I would ding the software. The reason is our forms engine wasn't out of the box compatible, so we did have to do some work with Zapier to map some data fields to get things going right. That took us a little bit of time, but ultimately it worked, and everything that we have on the web and other digital channels flows directly into Nimble the way we need it to. So Nimble really shines on the social media end of things, being able to find people's profiles, being able to integrate that data into CRM. I would wholeheartedly recommend it if you work in an area or an industry where social is prevalent and folks are putting a lot of information out there. If you do less of that, it might be a less attractive choice for you. The other piece is you're going to have to rethink a little if you're coming from a bigger suite type of CRM. We've brought clients over, and we ourselves came over from Salesforce. A lot of those big, hairy processes couldn't necessarily be brought over one-to-one. We either had to replicate it in Nimble, take it to other systems, or frankly abandon some things that we were doing that weren't bringing a whole lot of business value. It's not going to act like Zoho. It's not going to act like Salesforce. It's not going to act like a suite CRM. It's going to act like a streamlined, social, engaged pipeline management tool. If that's what you need, it's probably a good choice.